Hello everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over 5 things I'd like to see for LEGO Harry Potter in 2022. So this is my third and final video of a series of videos I've made where I've gone through things I'd like to see in various themes for 2022. I started with Star Wars, then did Marvel, and now I'm finishing it off with LEGO Harry Potter. So my number one thing for 2022 is sets from the Deathly Hallows. That's it. That's all that's needed, and 2022 is good. Okay, so that wasn't actually the end of the video, but my number one thing is still Deathly Hallows. I think we need Deathly Hallows sets. I feel you can't just stop the story when there's still 2 films left just because those 2 films don't necessarily fit with your brand values. That's at least the reasoning they've given in wanting to focus on the first and second film, Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, as they feel it fits better with their brand values, which seems, I don't know, I don't think it's a great reasoning. You can bring up many instances where LEGO has made sets or certain themes that wouldn't relate to those values, like for Harry Potter, for instance, from 2018 to 2021, the set I think of right away is the graveyard scene from Goblet of Fire. It's Voldemort's coming back. He's about to go and kill a bunch of people, and it scared me when I was younger. When I was first watching the Harry Potter films, it took me a couple years before I got back into Harry Potter because I was actually quite afraid from it. I think we need Deathly Hallows sets, and those sets don't necessarily have to be the Battle of Hogwarts, as much as that's a big part of it. You have the Ministry, you have the trio in their camp looking for the Sword of Gryffindor, Grimmauld Place, Gringotts. There's so many different things that aren't necessarily related to all the death of Deathly Hallows. Maybe a 19 years later scene. This is a set I brought up in that I made a video about a year ago where I went over Deathly Hallows sets I'd like to see. I think that would be a nice one where you could get Albus. I guess Scorpius isn't really a big part of that, but just the children of the trio and an older version of Ginny, Harry, Ron, Hermione. There's a lot of things you can do that don't necessarily result or relate to the death aspect of Deathly Hallows, but I think we absolutely need it because you just can't end the story when there's still parts of the story yet to be told. Second thing on this list is a third LEGO Harry Potter minifigure series. With Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore coming out, I think you can make a series that both ties into Harry Potter, getting some minifigures we haven't gotten, characters we haven't gotten before, and some Fantastic Beasts figures, if that's a younger Dumbledore. Of course, probably a Newt Scamander in there, likely Grindelwald as well. I think with this 12 figures instead of the 16, and then I believe previously for Series 122, you can have some really detailed figures. Now, not necessarily these figures would be as detailed as, say, the Marvel figures, because the outfits may not be as detailed. Jackets and just ministry stuff isn't really super detailed compared to all the different suits that we've seen in the Marvel minifigure series. But I still think this would be a nice series that you don't necessarily need to make sets from The Secrets of Dumbledore, as I'm pretty sure the Crimes of Grindelwald sets didn't sell that well. But you can include a couple, 4, 2, 3, how many you want just to get those main characters. I think the ones I think of right away would be Newt Scamander, a young Dumbledore, and Grindelwald, I think would be the best ones, just not knowing the story, but just from the title, of course, Dumbledore will be involved. We haven't got a young Dumbledore. We have got a few Grindelwalds, but I still think, considering the changing of actors with Grindelwald, maybe the character design might be a bit different, so I think some new face prints, some new prints, and then a updated Newt Scamander. If he has a bit of a different outfit, super detailed, it'd be kind of nice. So my third thing on this list of 5 is a Grimmauld Place set. I think it's a important location in Harry Potter. Um, you can base it off several different movies. You can have some Deathly Hallows scenes in there if you're not going to make Deathly Hallows sets. Making some subtle tie-in sets, Deathly Hallows would be nice, and I think Grimmauld Place would be a great one. I am a big fan of Sirius Black. He is my favorite Harry Potter character. So getting a cool Sirius Black minifigure, because we've only got one in that Azkaban outfit, which is just shocking to me that we've only gotten one Sirius Black, even though he isn't the biggest character throughout Harry Potter. I think he is an important character, especially to Harry's life. And I would just love to get a Grimmauld Place. You can even maybe have an attic area. I think I talked about this, like in the Harry Potter video I talked about earlier. Buckbeak, I think, coming back with that molded Buckbeak piece. It may be a bit too big for the set, but a big Grimmauld Place or a smaller burrow-sized Grimmauld Place, I think would be a really nice set where if you're not necessarily going to make Deathly Hallows sets, direct Deathly Hallows sets, you can make a few subtle tie-in sets like a Grimmauld Place, a Gringotts, or a Malfoy Manor, even though Malfoy Manor is for sure a direct tie-in to it. So maybe Gringotts and the Ministry and Grimmauld Place would be better options. My fourth thing on this list is a Gringotts set. I think this is a much needed addition to Diagon Alley. As much as that's an amazing set and is probably up there for sure in my top 3 of sets in my collection, it is missing Gringotts. It's a huge part of Diagon Alley. You see it throughout the books and the movies, and it's a very important location. You can have some nice figures. You can include some Vaults Harrys, Bellatrixes, another subtle Deathly Hallows tie-in there, a window that can maybe break, some nice minifigures, probably another grip hook you'd want there. You could have, just like they did with Crabbe and Goyle, Harry, Ron, Hermione figures that could change. I shouldn't say Harry there. Of course, he was under the invisibility cloak the whole time, so Harry and Ron do that like the Crabbe and Goyle figures. You can have some goblins in there, a Hagrid figure if you're going to base it off multiple films. And I think it would be in a really amazing set and a for sure much-needed addition to the already amazing Diagon Alley. So my fifth and final thing on this list is in the same style as 2 previous sets, being the Fox and the Hedwig, and that is a buildable Buckbeak the Hippogriff. Recently, I got the Fox buildable character in one out of 3 sets that I got to get the Gryffindor Dorms promo. And it was a set that I was just iffy about. It seemed alright. It had a really nice Dumbledore minifigure, nice way to get that Fox character mold, which looked amazing. But it just looked like an alright build, better than the Hedwig to me, with a function that it was just alright. Stand looked nice, but it's just alright, and I built it, and I was absolutely amazed by it. It was a really, really nice set. I enjoyed building it. The minifigure's really nice. It has a nice stand to it, a printed tile there. And it was just a really enjoyable build and a really enjoyable set, and I'm excited to get the Hedwig in the future. Probably should get that pretty soon. But now I really do want a buildable Buckbeak. Now, originally on this list, I had a UCS wand style set, and I still could see that happening as a set or as a promotion similar to the lightsabers, where we've had Yoda's lightsaber. And I believe the Anakin Skywalker, or is it Luke Skywalker? I'm not sure which lightsaber it is. But I know there is a lightsaber promo coming out that I believe is for the UCS AT-AT. And yeah, I just have switched those up. And it's something I'd still like to see: a Harry, Ron, Hermione, Voldemort, and the Elder Wand. I think it would be a nice set, but right now the thing I would like to see the most is a buildable Buckbeak. I don't think they'd just do a generic Hippogriff. It'd probably have to be Buckbeak. So I hope to see something like that. I don't know if these sets have necessarily sold the best compared to the Hogwarts sets, but I think they are still a nice inclusion to the line, and after building the Fox, would like to see more. So that was my list of 5 things I'd like to see for Harry Potter in 2022. I hope you enjoyed this video. I for sure enjoy making these idea videos. I enjoy thinking of things that I'd like to see in the future of some of my favorite LEGO themes. And if there's any ideas I didn't include on this list and you would like to see, please comment them down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.